Any roster things you can tell us about going to Japan?
So I think we're going to have our final roster tomorrow morning, and we'll be able to give you kind of who's getting on the plane tomorrow morning. Get through today's game, and that's the best way for us to be accurate with that information.
So no Matt Shaw news today?
No Matt Shaw news today, yeah.
Is it really down to the wire type thing of discussions about the good of these players staying and going?
At this point, it's less. I think as we got to go into today, it's less about that and just understanding once we get on the plane, we can't. That's it, right? So I think you can't go with non-healthy players, and we have 2 days of activity left. So some of those things, make you just wait, right? If you're not healthy, unfortunately, you can't go because we can't change the roster.
What was going on with Alcántara yesterday? I know it was precautionary.
Yeah, I mean, I would. He felt a little shoulder pain on the swing. Then gave him 15 seconds and he was fine, essentially. But, I would compare it to the Pete Crow Armstrong situation about 5 days ago. Like, I just at that point wanted to see him run around this morning. He's in the lineup today. And fully showed up today feeling perfect. So, again, I was using a lot of caution there. So he'll get through today, and we don't anticipate any issues.
And then what was the feedback from? We didn't ask yesterday on the sides.
All good. Yeah, everything's good. I think Javi's on a good track. We got a significant. He's going to start the year on the injured list. Got significant ramp up to go, but all signs are good. 15.
I think we talked about it before, but maybe it's worth mentioning again. You might have the best rotation in the minor leagues at AAA starting the season, depending on how it shakes out. Can you talk a little bit about how that depth really can help you, your team during the year?
Yeah, I mean it's a good place to be, and we've got to continue to develop that too, because I think we know what's going to be needed at points. And I think, I think Cade Horton's a really important part of that. His health. That's why the AAA rotation the health there is important as sometimes the big league rotation. And I think Cade's a guy that we got to get on track. And I don't know. I want Cade. I said Cade's got to push us almost. That's what you want, right? Where we're sitting there in, late May or early June saying we got to call Cade Horton up. And he has the talent to kind of make us say that.
Can you ignore the innings issue with him and just look at him as just another really good young arm, healthy pitcher and just move forward with that?
Yeah, I want the innings to be an issue. So that's a good problem. There's good problems. That's a good problem. And if we have to worry about Cade's innings, we'll figure it out. Because that means he's, like I said, he's pushing us. And if we're late in the season and we're worried about Cade Horton's innings, yeah, I'm a happy man.
Are you a believer in that innings thing that, if you're not built up, we can't use you past this?
I think it's not just the number. I think we are gaining momentum on other data points. That it's just not the innings number, but it's a useful guide still, and I think you can't ignore it.
When you think about when we've talked so much about Shota last spring, what have you thought of the work he's done this spring with all the feedback he had from last year? This spring he was able to kind of just build off.
Yeah. No, it's really been just to get ready for the season. I think he's more I mean, playing with some things that he could do, experimenting with some things. I don't think that it's the changes that, they're not going to hit you kind of be obvious as much. So just real small things that he's playing around with, the details.
I think you've talked about kind of the benefits for the team with this trip, but like you personally, what are you most excited about on and off the field?
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in is the team. So like that. Yeah, it's I think it's a great way to start a season in terms of team bonding. Like you can't, tough to think of a better way. We could go play laser tag or something like that, or we could go to Japan. So I like the Japan idea a little better.
You have a lot of
we could do trust falls, that trust falls, you see these team building things, Or we go to Japan. I like Japan better. We'll get Japan and play the Dodgers. That seems better. That seems like more fun.
You have a bunch of guys that are used to winning and winning big. Can you see the difference in those type of players being added and how it impacts a clubhouse?
I think when you have players like that, you hopefully want them to share their experiences, and you want that to become part of our daily interactions, and have that serve as accountability, have that serve as inspiration, and so that's a voice and a part of us and who we are every day, and you absolutely want them to share that.